This is Matchday Live with NordVPN. Two of the form teams going head-to-head here at Elland Road as Daniel Farke's side return home and to the Premier League following the cup win at Derby. All the build-up on the way with Michael Bridges and Simon Grayson in the studio ahead of full match commentary. It's Leeds United taking on Fulham live on LUTV. Well, Elland Road is building up nicely and we're building up to a huge game this afternoon with a 3 o'clock kickoff here at Elland Road. Simon Grayson, Michael Bridges, great to have you both here in the studio. I'm excited, everyone watching is going to be excited because a really big opportunity here for Leeds today.
Well, it is first home game in a long time, 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. It seems quite unfamiliar, to be fair, a normal football kickoff time. But it's trying to build off what we've been doing over the last few weeks. Obviously, the only disappointing result on paper was the Newcastle result, but performance is outstanding. Hopefully it's not one of them games where everybody expects it only to be Fulham because they're a real strong Premier League team and on a good run at the moment. But back at Elland Road, hopefully another 3 points.
Yeah, they're ninth in the league at the moment, but the league's a little bit, it's almost a bit of not a false position because they are where they are, but it's so tight there. They're only a few points off to the top four. You know, they're on the cusp of Europe. They're playing really well. They're in good form.
Yeah, like Simon says, they're in good form. I was looking at them against newly promoted teams as well, unbeaten in 12. So they know what to do. But they're a team that I feel are very vulnerable defensively. They've got some incredible attacking prowess as well. I mean, you know, we talked about Harry Wilson, that should have been at Leeds United. Jimenez, they'll be going to the World Cup, the goal scorer. So as long as we can contain them in an attacking sense with our defensive attributes, I think there's chances that are going to be correct, and we've got to just make sure that when we get the chances we are clinical, because this team, like you say, you don't want to be disrespectful and say it's a false position where Fulham are, but you just never know what you're going to get with this team. They are so unpredictable. But I just feel with Elland Road, the way Simon was saying, the last performance in the Premier League with a late goal that Newcastle scored, there were so many things and positive ways that we can take out of that game to bring back to Elland Road and again keep this run of form going.
There's a lot to talk about with the team news today. We saw Facundo Buonanotte coming in there, the new signing. He's on the bench. We'll come on to him in just a moment. But there is big team news today because of a couple of injuries, actually, which mean that Yakubiol and Anton Stack are out at the moment. Yakubiol with a hamstring injury. We're not quite sure the extent of that, but probably going to be a little bit of time. Anton Stack with an adductor. Daniel Farke saying he's hoping that he'll be back for the Everton game. Jacobiel could be a little bit longer. So let's just run through the team that the man in your picture there has chosen today. It's 3-5-2, 3-4-3. I guess we'll see when it actually lines up. But it is Carl Darlow in goal. There's another talking point. We'll come on to in just a moment. A back three of James Justin, Joe Rodon and Pascal Strike. And then Jayden Bogle out on the right-hand side. He's back in the team. Gabby Goodmanson, who'll hope to will have a better ending to this game, of course, than the one down at Fulham, down at Craven Cottage. Ethan Ampadu captains the team. Ilya Gruev's in there. And then whether Aronson drops into a kind of a 5 midfield or whether he's wide of a 3 with Noah Okafor and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the latest Premier League Player of the Month, something else we'll talk about. We're not quite sure. We'll have to see how it looks. But let's start with the injuries, I think, first and foremost, because those are two big players. And when we talk about also how effective we've been at set pieces this season at Part, those are two big losses, Bridgie.
Yeah, like you say, I think Bale's been in fantastic form. Like you say, set plays as well, very dominant. I think we've been great from set plays, and it's due to the delivery from Stack as well. His free kicks, his corners have been sensational. So the two players that you see have got the injuries. I mean, for Daniel Farke and his staff, that's one where you're kind of like two key players missing, an opportunity for others to come in. But when I saw the team sheet and you heard the news as to why, it's not a great preparation going into this when you think set plays. But there is opportunities all over the park. And opportunities, like you say, James Justin, was it going to be him or Bogle? Well, he gets a chance to show his case in a different position now. And I just think the balance with Bogle and Goodmanson on the left and right-hand side, as a striker myself, looking at Okafor and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, when you see the width and the deliveries, there's nothing better than when you've got full-backs or wingers that put the ball into an area when you're in there. And that's what we have.
Yeah, those two injuries kind of came as late because we'd had the press conference with Daniel Farke and kind of given pretty much Dan James even on the way back to fitness almost a clear bill of health, which is at this stage of the season unusual, but clearly there's been a couple of issues there.
Yeah, it sounded like yesterday in training, to be fair, by the sounds of it. Losing both of them are big players for the football club. Both have been outstanding signings, to be fair. It took a little bit of time for Bale to get into the team, but since he's been in it, he has been very, very good. But the versatility of James Justin will be a big part because he can play as a wing-back, as we've seen recently, but he'll step into that right-sided role where he can step into midfield areas and take the ball forward, and I think him and Bogle have a good understanding there. Lose a bit of height with the two players, as we mentioned, both in our own 18-yard box defensively, but attacking-wise as well.
Simon, no, obviously, with your managerial background, the coaching that you do, the players that are on the outer waiting, when you're in a team that are struggling, you'll kind of see a lot of lads will backpedal and go, I don't want to be part of this, and you'll see the ones that are hungry and want to be part of the squad and going forward to kickstart and continue this run of form going in, and you get your opportunities to see who's looking after themselves, who's up for the fight, and who's to say, well, my opportunity is here, now come and get your position back.
Well, I think it's last week when we did the derby game, we said that some players will either play themselves into Daniel's plans or they'll play themselves out. Yes. And most of them are back on the bench, but some played really well, like Willie Nonto got player of the match last week. If and when he comes on, he'll be in a good frame of mind after scoring a fantastic goal last week. So it's all about the squad, not just about the individuals.
Yeah, that bench is packed with attacking options for Daniel Farke today, including the new signing, who, like I say, we'll come on to shortly. I'm going to do that thing now that I think all Leeds fans are doing everywhere, but former players and managers tell you off for doing. So I'm going to apologise. They all say, just focus on this game. We've got to play Fulham and take care of that, but I can't help but look around. West Ham are going to Spurs. All right, Spurs don't have a great home record this season, don't get me wrong. That's a tough game. Forest are playing Arsenal. Yeah. There's 8-point gap at the moment, 1 to Forest, and you just think, oh man, this feels like a really... I mean, don't give me that look, Simon, please. I'm
just about to tell you, you asked Bridgie this question because I'm going to give you the bog standard manager answer, so ask Bridgie.
Forget you then. It's a massive opportunity.
Absolutely, and like you say, Tottenham's form at home over the last 2 seasons has been horrendous. I'd probably rather play it away against West Ham. But the gap, the incentive today, there's no more that you need to show the players, the league table in that dressing room, to say, look where we are, get a result today, and Tottenham beat West Ham. Boys, that is an 11-point buffer going into the remainder of the season. It's absolutely huge. So as a player, if you've got that kind of mindset, a look at that, you don't need anything else. That's got to be the focus. Get your job done and hope that Tottenham can do a job against West Ham.
The manager's answer is control the controllables. we can only control what happens there, not the results.
I'm pleased you came to me first.
Seriously, you're going to send everyone to sleep, Simon, honestly. We're making dangerous predictions with 22 minutes still to go before kick-off today, but you can't help but look at the table and just wonder what it might look like at 5 o'clock. Right, let's get on to today's match. Let's speak to a player who's in the team, has been in the team for the last few weeks and got his first goal for the club as well. The thoughts pre-match of James Justin chatting to Pridlaw.
Well, James, home game again. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, obviously, we can bring our confidence over the last few weeks and Christmas period into this game and get a good result for everyone.
It's been a good place for Leeds in recent weeks, hasn't it, Elland Road? So do you want to keep that run going? Yeah,
definitely. We know what playing here comes with, and obviously the atmosphere and the extra 5-10% it gives us players. So hopefully they'll be behind us again and we can get the 3 points for them.
I'm sure complacency won't be an issue, but you only have to look at Fulham's recent form to think this could be tricky.
Yeah, definitely. They're in a great form at the moment and have picked up a string of great results against good teams. So they're definitely very dangerous, but hopefully we've got something to count them today.
There you go, James Justin Hill playing that back three today. So the players out warming up on... The best way I can describe the day today here at Elland Road, depending on where you're joining us from around the world, is it needed floodlights on from about 10 o'clock this morning. I mean, it's kind of grey and...
It is very grey and ugly outside of the stadium.
It's not the best. It's not the best. But listen, 3 o'clock kickoff, like you say. Actually, we've had a few lunchtime kickoffs. It's nice to have one. Gives people a chance to... It does change the atmosphere, doesn't it, as well, Simon? You know, we have lunchtime kickoffs and they don't quite feel the same, do they?
No, they don't sometimes. And ultimately, it's great to be on TV to showcase what everybody's doing. But 3 o'clock is the main fixture, isn't it, to be fair? Back at home on a Saturday, far and few between these sort of timings of fixtures. So hopefully... what we drew with Bournemouth last time. I'm looking on a superstition side, so hopefully we still remain unbeaten on a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff.
Control the controllables, Simon. You can't control. What's happening here?
Well,
come on.
See, the reason I'm dressed like a geography school teacher here with my shirt and tie, my jumper, I've been doing the hospitality lounges before LUTV, and what was great to see, all the fans, there's a different feel today because it is a 3 o'clock kickoff. Everybody's upbeat. We've been crying out for a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday afternoon, and the ambience around the ground, there's a proper buzz about the place. And obviously there always is at Elland Road in the ground when game kicks off, but there's a different feel behind because everybody's upbeat because the Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff is back. So I'm very, very confident of a good result off the field as well as on.
It is a bit strange in the studio today with you having done that because we're casual, smart casual, airline pilot. But you're looking
wrong with airline pilots and geography teachers.
I would trust you.
Smart as a dog.
Be safe in your hands. Right, let's go back to last week, of course, and progression in the FA Cup for Leeds United through to the fourth round. We know it's going to be a lunchtime kickoff down at Birmingham in a few weeks' time. I think February the 15th, the Sunday, is the date for that. But a really good performance. We were here in the studio, and you will have been watching it worldwide, wherever you were. A good performance, like you said, Simon. Players coming into the team. Lots of change from Daniel Farke, and they went and did the job. But like you say, most importantly, those players gave themselves, Daniel Farke something to think about. Yeah,
the big thing was a lot of these players have not had 90 odd minutes under the belt, to be fair. So a lot of them got the time on the pitch, and so they're going to be prepared for when Daniel calls on them. I think it was a real good professional performance. We talked about this goal last week. Great play from Biel, finding the pass and the awareness of Joel Piroux to run through his legs for Willie Gnonto to be behind him. And Bridgie will know better than me because I never got that far forward, that when you get into this position, it's quite easy to try and hit it too hard and you put it over the bar. He kept his head over the ball and back of the net. But a lovely one-touch, two-touch play. Great awareness from Piroux and a fantastic finish.
I think the hardest thing nowadays is without having a reserve league as such, when you've got the juniors, only so many of the senior players can play in the youth team games. So to get your match fitness inside training facilities and inside the games behind closed doors, so on. So the performance here from the lads that are on the outer, like you say, Willie Gnonto, the way he took that, it's so hard to come in and actually hit the ground running to keep the run of form going. But it's great that he's, some of the boys have given the manager a bit of a headache, but also to show the squad depth, which you need in the Premier League and when you're on a cup run.
But I think as well the players that came in played the same system that we're playing today and played previously. Joel Piroux again played in that 10 role and had an influence on both goals. Tanaka in the right place at the right time with a clinical finish. But they're getting to understand the system. Not because obviously they do on the training pitch on a regular basis, but some of these players were going into this, probably not played a lot of this system, and they acquitted themselves really well and showed what they're capable of doing. So all round, a couple of really good performances and some really good goals.
I tend to see as well through the teams. When I've been at certain clubs when we've had success with the senior level, it almost seems to run through the rest of. It sets a culture for the rest of the whether it's the reserve, the youth leagues, or things like that, because they're seeing what is ahead of them, and like you say, to give the players the opportunity to go out and perform, to keep that kind of winning sense going and show that there is a hunger at this football club. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I'd love a cup run as well.
I mean, I was just going to say, if Leeds, I mean, this is a great goal here, isn't it? Great work from Lemaitre again. He was at the centre of so much good stuff for the weekend. But you do look at it and think, if Leeds are in a position where they can just keep ticking along and adding points, there's no reason, is there, Simon, managerially? Listen, we understand that the bread and butter, the priority at the start of the season is staying in the league. But if they can put themselves in that position that they can afford to really give it a go, why not?
Well, we saw last year, Crystal Palace is probably the best example of that. We probably went into the third, fourth round of FA Cup, probably mid-table or just below, and ultimately kicked on. But winning football matches just breeds confidence as well. And Palace obviously went on to win the
Crystal Palace last season, not this season, Simon.
Yeah, sorry, last season, and ended up winning the competition. So our club has not had a great deal of cup runs over a number of years now. So it'd be great for them to do it. Well, Birmingham's not going to be an easy game, but yeah, confidence breeds confidence by winning matches.
Yeah, and James Justin there getting the third goal. He'll be full of confidence. We heard from him already, chatting to Bryn Law. Let's join the full commentary team and get their thoughts ahead of this 3 o'clock kickoff against Fulham. Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
Yeah, here we are in the tunnel again, and we've had a little bit to digest in terms of the team news as well. Not necessarily great news, because there's a couple of the players that we expected to start who are missing out.
Yes, Jakob Biol and Anton Stack, unfortunately they both miss out. Hamstring adductor injuries, hopefully they shouldn't be too long. But of course you expect them to be part of the starting 11. So a bit of a shuffle around, and certainly at the back. I think James Justin is going to come in to a back three, which will be interesting.
Also, Carl Darlow keeps his place after the Derby game as well.
Yeah, well, I think it's only right in that if you're performing at your highest level and you're playing well, you stay in the side. Oppositely, if you're not quite doing that, then whoever's waiting to take your spot gets a chance, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Carl Darlow, end of last season, hasn't let us down at all. Actually played really, really well. Comes in when Lucas Perry, once or twice, could have done a little bit better in certain situations. So Carl gets a chance.
I mean, the squad came through in the cup tie last weekend, so Daniel Farke needs the squad to come through again today, really, doesn't it?
And it's always been about the squad. I mean, we look at the starting 11, but the changes that are made as well, whether it's half hour to go, 20 minutes to go, are important. And of course, when there's injuries, they need to come together again. But I don't see that being an issue at all. What I see is a growing spirit, a growing belief in what the guys are doing, and also at Elland Road. I think they're raring to go. So whoever's out there will put in a great shift.
Fulham are in good form coming into this one, a bit like Leeds in many senses. So this could be quite a difficult game, could it not?
It is, and it will be a tricky game. I think we owe them, though, from what happened down there. I remember Gabby Goodmanson after the game. We both saw him, didn't we? Sitting in the stand, devastated about that freak own goal. That will never happen again. But at home, I think we're a different beast. But you're right, Fulham have got some good players. They're starting to get better and better. Kevin came on, didn't he, on the left-hand side and at first game, and now all of a sudden he looks to be, playing well as well. So nothing that we can't cope with, and I think they've got to cope with us, which is the main thing.
It's a good opportunity, potentially, isn't it, for Leeds today here at home, to get something to push on again.
It's a great opportunity, it really is. And I'm looking at the gap, of course, we're looking at the gap below. You start to get that out to like the 11-point mark, you're thinking, okay, not too many, then we need to go. So, big game. But again, you're right, it's a tricky game, difficult opposition who are in good form. We have to be at our best.
So there you go. We're looking forward to it. Leeds United against Fulham coming up shortly.
Yep, 3 o'clock kickoff. We can't wait. Let's just quickly talk transfers in and out, actually. But Jack Harrison has gone to Fiorentina, and on the same day, Facundo Buonanotte comes to the club. An extra attacking player Bridgie. Good to bring him in as well, and a player that originally was coming in the summer and then didn't come in the summer, but is here now.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody that can be a player that can excite in the final third. I used to love watching Pablo Hernandez here, somebody that can unlock doors and Brentford gives us something different dynamically in that midfield, something else for us to think about, and I think it's a really, really good acquisition. Like you see, he's on the bench today. We don't know what his fitness levels are like. It'll be monitored during the week, but I just think the more numbers of quality like this player, the better it is for this football club.
Simon, you've seen plenty of him play, haven't you, in some of the coverage you've done?
Yeah, I was down at Leicester last year quite a lot, and lots of mates down there as supporters, and he was good, one of their key players. I'd liken him to probably Manu Solomon, where he can just low sense of gravity, can go past people, find a pass, shoot from distance. And if he can manage to replicate that sort of form that Manu Solomon did last year, then he's going to be a big player again. Depending on how fit he's going to be, when's he going to quickly get started, but to come off the bench and have 10-15 minutes here and there to start with is only can be better, because Jack Harrison's not really worked for us since it's come back this season, and a freshness and a new body in there will help.
Okay, Facundo Buonanotte is the new number 40 here at Leeds United. Here he is giving his interview when he joined the club with Bryn Law.
Bienvenido a Leeds.
Thank you so much.
Are you happy to be here?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
How is it that you are here now? We heard that maybe you might have been here in the summer, but you've arrived in January instead. How did that happen?
Yeah, I spoke with the club, with the manager, but I couldn't be in the summer, but now is the moment. I'm very happy to be here.
So you're at Leeds United now. Do you know anybody at the club? Have you been able to say to a friend here?
Yeah. Obviously, I know JJ. He helped me a lot in my first day, and say to him, thank you for everything.
When you were at Leicester with JJ, that was a hard season, wasn't it? Did you learn a lot that season?
Yeah, it was a difficult season because we went to the championship, and it was a difficult moment for the club and for the team as well.
What do you want to happen here now that you've arrived at Leeds?
Obviously, I want to show to the fans my quality and how can I help to the team, and obviously stay in the Premier League.
You haven't had the chance to play a lot of football. Are you ready to play if the manager asks you here?
Yeah, of course, I'm ready to play, and I hope Saturday we can win.
What sort of footballer, what sort of player are you for the fans?
I like to play between the line, and of course score and assist.
You've played for your country. There's a World Cup coming up. Do you want to play football to give yourself a chance for the World Cup?
Yeah, first I want to help Leeds, and I need to do a good job here, and then of course if I have a chance to go to the World Cup, obviously I want to go.
Have you heard about Elland Road, the stadium and the crowd? Do you know what that could be like?
Yeah, I played with Brighton a few seasons ago, and I say to my family, to my teammate, is one of the best team in Premier League for sure.
And so you'll be wanting to walk out in front of those fans as a Leeds player?
Yeah, of course. I can't wait for that moment.
Yeah, there you go, the new signing for Leeds United. Will that moment be today? We will have to wait and see. Let's just go back to the rest of the team. The other big piece of team news, Bridgie, is Carl Darlow starts in goal. Now, obviously, he'd come in for the cup game. Daniel Farke had spoken quite openly about Perry on a couple of occasions, and he's decided that change is happening today.
Yeah, and another big decision from the manager. That's why they get paid the big bucks to make the big decisions. And if you go back to when Meslier were in the Championship, Meslier was making a few mistakes. Carl Darlow was waiting on the outer, and I think it was a massive change that season when Carl Darlow came in, and the whole dynamics of the season, that you could see that there was a bit of relief for the back four ran through the team. Carl Darlow came in, he was so consistent with his performances. Obviously Perry signed this season, he's had to wait on the outer yet again. I know this lad personally, he's a professional, he will be waiting, he always supports the person that is number one, whether it was Meslier, whether it was Perry, but he's always up for the battle in the competition for that place. And Daniel Farke has made that decision because of Perry's performances. He made another big, but I'll tell you what, putting the faith in Carl Darlow, no worry whatsoever. Experience, quality.
I think from Daniel's point of view as well, I think dropping Medley last year was easier because he made some really big mistakes, where Perry this year has made mistakes but not real massive ones like howlers. Yeah, really bad ones where you can go, oh, I can do that. But he's obviously decided he's seen enough of Carl Darlow to say, right, you're coming in, go and do a job from now to the end of the season.
And in Harry Wilson with 7 goals and 4 assists, a player who we're talking about nearly coming to clubs on deadline days, nearly ended up here.
He's on the wrong team sheet.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the storylines can write themselves. We don't want that storyline today, do we?
No, not at all. Now, I saw him come on, he changed the game in their cup game against Middlesbrough. He came on at half-time, Middlesbrough were dominating that game, and he came on and changed the dynamics of that. He's a fantastic footballer, and that's why I just think with Ampadu and Gruev playing in that hole, just make sure that they are around him like a rash, because you can't allow this lad to face forward with the quality that he's got.
Yeah, big game today. Just quickly before we hand over, because there's going to be a minute's applause in memory of Terry Orth, who of course so sadly passed away, a league winner in 1973-74 and a finalist in the FA Cup, the European Cup, the Cup Winners' Cup, and Simon, someone you knew and worked with as well. So really sad news for the club, and him and the family and everyone here will remember him today.
Yeah, I'm sure Elland Road will give it the best round of applause for him, because he was a big player, a big part of this football club. The success, the foundations that him and many other players laid for many other teams in the years to follow. I worked at Sheffield Wednesday. I played for Sheffield Wednesday when Terry was assistant to Paul Jewell. Great bloke, seeing him round the lounges a lot. Just so sad that we've lost one of the greats of this football club again.
Yeah, well, there'll be a minute's applause coming up before the game, and of course the best way to remember will be with a win today. Hopefully, Bridget, is that going to happen today? How's this one going to go?
I hope so. It's going to be very close. Like you say, you just never know what you're going to get from Fulham. Attacking wise, as long as we can nullify the opportunities of Smith Rowe, Sessegnon, Jimenez and Wilson, I think we've got an opportunity here massively. And like I say, I'm going back to that 11-point buffer if Spurs can get the job done against West Ham. I've got 2-1 covered home win.
Okay, Simon.
1-0 home win.
All right, well, however it comes, we'll take it if it's 3 points. Hopefully so. Let's head over to our commentary team, Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo, to take you through today's action. Leeds United against Fulham here at Elland Road.
Really good. Well, we are ready for the appearance of the two teams here. We have the boards up on the pitch. The Premier League flag is being flown. And supporters of Leeds United and Fulham are making their way rapidly towards their seats as we await the arrival of the two teams on the playing surface here. It's a misty, murky kind of day, proper typical January football day. And it's that rarest of things in the modern football calendar. It's a Saturday for a start, and it's a 3 o'clock UK time kickoff as well. They are few and far between these days, and all the more welcome for it, to be honest with you, in terms of the biorhythms and all the rest of it. And prep time for the Leeds players. Well, we'll talk about preparation for the Leeds players. It looked all great on Thursday. I was actually at the training ground, met the new signing Facundo Buonanotte on Thursday and had a chat with him, as you may have been hearing in the build-up to kick-off here. And whilst I was there, the manager was talking through his preview with the media in a room elsewhere, and all looked good. It looked pretty much like he had a full-strength squad to pick from. And then we arrive at Elland Road on a match day, and when we see the team sheet, we realise that actually between then and now, something went a little bit awry. On the final day of training, a couple of players reported in the session that they were feeling problems, and so that is why we have no Anton Stach and Jakob Biol in the starting 11 for Leeds today, when obviously the anticipation would be that both of those players were very high up on the list of guaranteed starters for this one. So the job is for others to do the job that they were doing previously as the two teams emerge down below. Leeds United will be all in white and Fulham will be all in black. And it's the reverse of the fixture when we were at Craven Cottage. A disappointing day, that one, for Leeds United, that we certainly don't think back fondly to, because Leeds have done a really good job right up until the final few seconds, and then the